seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. Game on. Point approved. Game finished. Second.
Hey, map chip!
Explanation and man was
Game on. Point approved.
I guess they didn't understand it. I'm gonna say that was my fault. liking, self-liking. Yes.
Paul sent
No.
Paul to
No.
the...
No.
No?
No. Check. Check. Oh, that's why. 9. That's why.
Send Paul to the back line. He should have 4 on his field line.
What is already over?
All referees should be in the zone.
1 minute.
As yesterday, other than Paul and Jonathan.
Timeout.
Everybody else should be in their regular positions. If not, those are exactly your regular positions as this morning. Only Paul and Jonathan are the ones that switch. X-Ball!
1 minute. Seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. Game on.
PTA, where's your coach? Hunter's coach. Who's your coach? All right.
Is it bad news or good news?
Well, I'll explain it. You decide.
If it's bad news, I don't want it.
Yeah. Yes.
Can I shoot my gun right here?
Yeah, chrono on. I decided to explain it. Yeah, go. It's stop. You go. Coach? Okay. What happened this way? They're running down this way. Shot the wedge. The wedge continues to play on. Okay. At one point, the wedge playing on with the minor in the middle. Nobody was full, so that automatically stops the clock. But the runner coming in had a shot in the foot. Going in and the buzzer. The penalty is the minor went up first before anything went into check. So we had no bodies to assess the automatically stop the clock. It's going to be down one for pitchers. Swing point's going to go over the other team. Okay. The place does no matter because the flag is in the air. And we had no bodies to assess. Okay? That's all we need. Alright? Because of the bodies to assess. On butchers? Let me confirm that before I pull anybody. Okay? Let me find out what's going on. Well, how would that be playing off?
Well, what he's saying is, if there was only one body to the minor, well, if there's no body to the minor, the game stops, right? And if we have bodies, we automatically win. That's what he's saying. He doesn't mean swing point, like, hey, the game goes in. There's no bodies before, right? But there was. That's not a swing. I knew what he was meaning.
No, we're going to
I knew what he was meaning.
Este pantalón. Hace 3 años vine para acá a un evento de esta gente.
That's what they're all saying right there.
Y nos dieron el pantalón. Ay, bueno.
Players on this side, how many bodies going after the time of the penalty? That's it. That's it. They're saying that he's got the penalty. Okay, they're saying the Dorito corner was still alive. Ref, come on.
The guy that came down the Dorito side shot the wedge. The wedge shot him in the toe. Yeah, but if he shoots the wedge first and he shoots in the toe, would that be a delegate? Because if your guy gets shot first and you shoot my guy, it's got to both of them. So that fixes my argument, so it goes to me. So this is horseshit. And you're even on the wrong side, you should be over there. You're too close. That's right, Todd. Walk away.
All right, they're all saying the same exact thing. Just
Yeah,
the way
he
it was.
left.
Okay, so it's gonna be swing point for Hunter.
Huh?
Are you guys going that way?
We went that way. That point. Alright, so it's gonna be 5 on 4.
Give the point to the Hunter's face to be down one. I got everybody confirmed.
I know, wait, hold on.
It's because
Because
there's
you
no
didn't have any bodies to
assess.
pull.
I know, we just got down one.
No, because we have bodies. We had 2 bodies.
All right, stops the clock. But flag goes up real quick. Oh, come on, guys. What's going on?
Hey, Corey, we had 3. Corey! Huh? We had 3. Either way, right? Like, we had more than them. They had 0. We get the point. Maybe.
Yeah, we're going with that.
Okay. Hey, so they're down a body. We're up. It's 5 on 4. We got the point. Okay? Does that make sense? Yeah. Perfect. 2:30 left. Whatever you say.
Yes. point to the...
Point approved.
You guys ready? Sorry about that. I'm gonna roll it to 11.
10 seconds.
Hey, map champ!
Base.
Headshot.
Point approved.
X-ball!
One minute.
Not feeling good. I'm gonna throw up. It's fucking pops, I think. Need a
He got
taco.
excited.
What's that?
He got excited with playing and game and everything. He just
30 seconds.
Let's all sit right here and I want to throw it up. It feels like it's like, I want to talk to throw by now. Let me finish this set and I'm going to sit down one.
20 seconds.
Like all right here.
Now you check your pressure sometimes?
10 seconds.
Check my pressure. Yeah, right here. Feels good.
Game on. approved. One minute. Timeout.
Hey, Adrian, watch the floaters and them going after shooting off the break.
1 minute. Seconds. Seconds.
Let's go, 20 seconds on the gate. Let's go, 20.
10 seconds.
Watch the runner, make sure he makes it.
Hey, back chip!
Hold off, hold off, hold off, hold off, hold off! Pull a miter, pull a miter, Eric, pull that miter.
Game stopped. No points. Game finished.
cabrón.
boludo.
Che, boludo. Catch it, Red! Catch it, Red!
10 seconds.
Bueno, agarra mi 40.
Game on. Object approved.
Bobby, tú de tanto.
Ya aventaron rojo, porque... O sea, ya aventaron amarillo, pero no más que nada. Pero si hubiera matado al otro era rojo. Pero es igual esa la vez. Estaba acá.
30 seconds. 20 seconds.
On the way, on the way.
10 seconds. Game on.
Hello. What is upstream? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me know in the chat right now. Otherwise, this is SVP Paintball bringing to you live at the West Coast Classic at beautiful Paris, California. We've got North Cal Kings versus Regime up here on deck. Let's see if we can move this camera here around. Beautiful. I'm doing the best I can with the mic situation that we have right now, so please forgive me if it is a little scuffed here. But let's take a close look at this game right now. We're going to be jumping in here on the red side. I'm not actually sure who this is just yet. It's got to be North Cal Kings, I would imagine. Taking a look at the center player here, looking towards the snake side of the field. Got some good development going on the Dorito side as well. Looks like North Cal Kings is in a pretty good spot to win this game. Not sure what the body count is, but it looks like they're losing a body right now as we speak. Coming from what looks to be the Dorito side right now. 13 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Plenty of time to work with. Both teams trying to just maintain as much ground as they possibly can. Nice heads-up play from the Dorito player on the red side of the field for you on your screen. Let's see if we can go into... Great job here. Both teams pretty solid. Regime's definitely a seasoned team in the Premier Division. I'm not sure North Cal Kings, I think they might have just moved up this year. Could be wrong. Somebody can correct me in the chat. Please let me know.
Towel.
How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing well. If you're not here, you're missing out. Definitely be sure to come to Event 3. WCPPL is awesome. As you can see, you're definitely missing out on some awesome Center X action here, as well as the Mini X's. I remember playing those bunkers way back in the day. Definitely first year as Premier. There you go. Beautiful. Definitely remember playing those Mini X's. That was quite the experience. Those are hard bunkers to survive in, and what you notice on this field, especially if you guys have been watching the stream, a lot of people like to go into those corners, especially on the Dorito side, and look on the inside. Really not a lot to see there. I think they're just trying to hold out some kind of snake push or protect themselves from the middle, but otherwise, that Dorito side corner seems to be kind of a rough bunker to be in. Snake can definitely see it a lot, so it's kind of hard to survive there, and they're doing good. Awesome. I actually haven't had the chance to pull up the schedule here, which I will try to do so I can keep track of things.
10
But
seconds.
if you guys have not hit the follow button, do so now. Definitely follow WCPPL events, I think is what it's called on Twitch. Play WCPPL. Let's see. WCPPL public group on Facebook and play WCPPL and WCPPL events. Go follow those channels. Spread them to your friends and family. Tell them, hey, if you want to see paintball and what it looks like, what I do, here's a link. Check it out. Starting in this next game, we got the Scottsdale Elevation versus Bloodhawks. Let's go into the center camera here. Sorry, guys, getting adjusted.
Base. Point approved.
But I do know a lot of people who did, and they swear by it. So can't blame them there. Great first point. Going on to this next point here between North Cal Kings and Regime as they walk onto the field with 11 minutes left in this series. We're going to be taking a look at, I believe, Kings. No, that's got to be Regime, right? Let's take a look. Sorry, I know I'm getting super zoomed in here. Sorry, I'm getting used to the controls still. Forgive me. This is Regime over here on your left. As you can see, GJ Sakaguchi from the Brooklyn Bears, always accompanying his boys out. I don't think he was here for the first event. He was pretty sad about that. But he is here to play with them this event. Let's see if they can tie up the series this next point. I'll be curious to see. I haven't had a chance to watch enough games yet to know what kind of the meta is turning out to be on this layout. As you guys had seen, there's so many open gaps in the shape of an X branching off from that center X. So essentially, if you can hold one gap, you can hold all the rest of them in the backfield, which is pretty crazy. Let's start here on your screen with Regime. Let's see if they can put it.
approved.
Okay, well, I see in the chat that apparently mutes me anytime I switch to the main camera. We will try to get that fixed here at some point in the break time. Not sure why it's doing that. I definitely added the audio source, but streaming is a nightmare at times. So we are going to be looking at Bloodhawks on your screen here. Sorry, I know that the camera is doing all sorts of crazy stuff. I promise it is not me. Just kidding. It absolutely is me. Series tied 1-1 with 7 minutes left. Plenty of time to work with. Let's see how the Bloodhawks decide to respond to losing that last point here. Definitely Scottsdale Elevation equalizing the pressure. Let's see what they decide to do off the break with how many guns up.
Game on.
4 guns up off the break, it looks like, with 1 Dorito risk body going out to the corner. 2 players playing that center wedge bunker, trying to get heavy guns off the break to see if they can eliminate a player. Again, that Dorito side corner opting to look on the inside of the field. Great initial breakout. Relatively conservative again with the Dorito risk body. Nobody in the snake off the break to start. Let's take a look over here on the elevation side of things. Decent coverage on the Dorito side. A little bit farther ground taken in that Dorito tower there that you can see on the left side of your left screen here. Let's see if we have any snake bodies. Looks like Elevation's going to lose 1 body right now walking off the field. Let's take a look. I don't believe we have any bodies left alive on the snake side, so unless somebody's hiding in that box or in the snake corner, it is two down, I believe, for Scottsdale Elevation. Let's take a look back over here with the Bloodhawks. Nice play action here going on to the Dorito side as they try to push their advantage on that side of the field. Again, same primary bunker positions for the Bloodhawks. They have plenty of time on the clock. They definitely don't need to risk any bodies unnecessarily to win this point, as they are up 5-3 at least in terms of body count. Guns rolling, really nice. Good job here for the Bloodhawks. Again, that Dorito corner player opting to hold a crossfield shot. I believe they're containing somebody on the snake side of the field, which again, Elevation does not have anybody in there just yet. I would like to see the 2 back center players work to get out of this spot, as it is an easy thing to punish if you do not get out of that back center anytime soon. Potentially, if they want to push the Dorito side to equalize that part of the field, you would have somebody backing up into that Dorito side Aztec. Great move out here from the snake side to get to that box, hopefully threatening the snake position. Definitely needs to survive here. Cannot risk to lose his body in this situation. Great Dorito movement on the right side of your screen here, up and getting into that Dorito 4, I don't know, Dorito 3, whatever you guys want to call that. Looking for bodies right now. Great job. Bloodhawks are definitely in control of this match, as they're getting some pretty decent backline movement here right now. Let's take a look over here on the snake side of the field. It looks like Bloodhawks is going to be closing the point out on the Dorito side as they start to get further and further down the field.
Towel.
And we are getting a towel here on the point. Good job, Bloodhawks. Up 2-1 right now in the series with just a little less than 5 minutes to go. Great job. As you can see, a lot of teams in the Premier Division taking relatively conservative breaks, heavy guns up. I think we saw, 4 guns up in the last 2 points. Not sure we'll see 5 guns up, as that's kind of difficult because you're probably going to have to run to a corner, and that corner seems to be difficult to survive. So good job. People seem to be opting to go to risk the body on the Dorito side and fight their way into the snake side. I'd be curious to see if we're going to see any snake off the break throughout this tournament. Generally speaking, you see a lot of risky plays earlier in a tournament as teams try to figure out what the right moves are and seeing what the limits are of a layout, especially in a blind layout situation. So really surprised to see that nobody's risking their bodies into the snake, at least not so far. Maybe we have, and I wasn't here for that. But going into the game between North Cal Kings and Regime needing to do something to get this game back in control. We're going to watch Regime one more time, see what they can do off the break. Got to definitely be careful of that center counter punch, as they lost to that last time. Heavy guns up again. Dorito side's risk seems to be the play. Teams are opting to double stack that standing wedge. Heavy guns up. A little bit of a dance out there in the standing wedge, trying to pick off somebody in the snake. We'll take a look at North Cal Kings here in just a second. Dorito corner player trying to do what he can to put players in and get up the Dorito side of the field. Still nobody wider than the snake side Aztec for Regime right now. Let's take a look over here on the red side of the field for North Cal Kings. Doesn't appear that they've lost any bodies just yet. Have pretty standard positioning right now, double stacking the wedge, opting to launch up the middle once things kind of settle, using that mini stand-up wedge as a leapfrog bunker into the X. We do have some player walking off on the snake side of the field, and just as I say that, the player moving up to the center X also loses his body. Down 3 right now. Regime in a really good spot to crawl back into this series with scoring a point. Right now, we'll see how North Cal Kings responds to losing these bodies here. Kings all the way. Guns up, Paintball. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on here. Ooh, Regime losing their Dorito push. As you saw on the right side of your screen there, it appears to be a 4-on-3 in favor of Regime right now. They're still driving the ship here. Can definitely win this point if they play smart and get into the snake especially and finish out the point. They seem to have lost all of their ground that they had established. Oh, trying to move the camera here, gentlemen, so you can see play action here going on right now. This is the widest I can go. Unfortunately, we can't see what he's shooting at, but we do know that there is now a snake player. He is in prime position to close out this game and win this point for Regime. Let's see what they do.
Game stop.
Looks to be a towel. Excellent job. Good job for Regime to win that point. 8 minutes and 47 seconds left in the series. They risked the Dorito side body. I'll be very curious to see what they do off the break this next time. It seems to be teams are opting to do the same play over and over again. It seems to be that standard 2-man double stack in the standing wedge. One player in either Aztec on the back line of the field, and then one player running out all the way to that Dorito side corner. Seems to be a relatively conservative break. It seems that a lot of guns are going towards the snake side of the field, but would like to see some variations here on day 1 of the WCPPL West Coast Classic here in nice and hot Paris, California. All right, we're gonna go back to the Bloodhawks. It's now, I think Bloodhawks won the previous game again. I should have my scoreboard up. If I was actually a decent commentator, I would do that. But I'm holding a microphone in my hand and using a camera, using a camera joystick in the other, so it's a bit hard right now. But let's take a look at the North Cal Kings. I would love to be able to get a full screen heads-up shot for you guys, but we'll do that here after this series. We'll try to get that set up and figured out. Apologies for any sort of background noise you hear, but hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. We're going to put elevation on your screen here as they're down 1 point in this series with just under 5 minutes to go. You know, it seems to be that a lot of teams are trying to leapfrog up that X. It seems to be that there's so many guns coming towards the middle that it's too hard to do that off the break. But the thing you got to be aware of is that if you keep double stacking the middle because you're trying to shoot wide, that means that up the center play starts to become a little bit more viable. A little bit more viable as teams stop shooting for that middle route because they're not going there off the break. So a little bit of mind gaming, a little bit of meta gaming you can do out here, especially in a blind layout. Very easily manipulated, but teams definitely don't want to lose bodies or games unnecessarily on that first day of play, especially because a lot of teams are still just trying to figure things out, you know? Teams are trying to put together how to play this layout, especially one that is as crazy as this. If you've been around for a long time, been playing paintball for 10+ years or so, you would definitely be familiar with a layout like this with the big X in the middle, mini X's in the corner. You love to see it. What is this, the PSP? All right, let's take a look at this game here. Again, just under 5 minutes to go. Scottsdale elevation versus Bloodhawks. Elevation on your screen right now on the left side of the field, or left side of the screen, excuse me. Again, opting for a double stack in the home. A relatively conservative breakout as they try to take a little bit more of a risk on the Dorito side, getting into that Dorito side juice box, we'll call it. Oh, or is that the juice box, or is that the, yeah, that appears to be the juice box. So again, relatively conservative breakout. I almost want to call this a 2-2-1 at this point because, man, there's so many people, or a 4-1. So many people in the middle here. Nobody's dropping for elevation here. Let's take a look at the Bloodhawks, see how they're doing. Ooh, they've got a center player here stopping the snake side progression. It seems to be that everybody's really concerned about that snake side. I can't blame them. That's definitely a worry. Let's see if we can find out where this guy's shooting, who he's looking for. Nobody's going to be able to break out of that Aztec with him looking this way. The best way to pluck him out is to get into that baby Dorito, shooting him in the feet or in the pod pack if they can. If he's not playing tight enough, that's definitely a solid way of plucking him out, a relatively safe way of plucking him out, especially if he's not looking your way. So, ball is definitely on Dorito's side for Scottsdale elevation. Ooh, breaking out here into that Aztec. Risky. Glad to see that that player did not die here. Bloodhawks definitely does not want to let them get any wider than that. I'm sure that they know at this point that he is there, if they didn't already. Still needs to hold his job, doing as much as he can. J Stu at the X. Beautiful. Hey, yeah, you guys help me out with the names. There's no way, no shot I am going to be able to say people's last names. That's just not happening today. But appreciate you guys calling out your homies. Love the love in paintball. It's absolutely amazing. Still, no deaths here, it looks like, for Scottsdale Elevation. Doing a great job of surviving, but they need to do something to claw their way back into this series. It seems to be that this event, I'd seen that they're actually resolving ties in the Premier Division. I'm not sure if that's happening in other divisions at this event, but if this does go into a tie, they will definitely resolve it. So maybe Elevation's just trying to play safe and conservative, definitely not dropping any bodies here. Trying to fight their way out of this hold that they have. Player dropping. Looks to be that they did pluck out the center X player. Good job for Elevation to be aware of that player and not run into his gap. Let's take a look at seeing how things are going on the Bloodhawks side of the field right now. They do have a player alive in that Dorito corner. Not seeing any other bodies around. They might have somebody in the snake corner, but he was hiding. They might be holding across. Oh, you need to go the other way. There we go. So, you do have at least a Bloodhawks player on your screen on the right side. As you can see on the Dorito side camera here on the right side of your screen, some decent play action, but unfortunately, Scottsdale Elevation loses their Dorito attacker out of that tower. Unfortunate. They're dropping, I think that's 2 bodies at this point, if not just 1. Got a decent spread on the field, though, fortunately. They do have a player in a juice box on the Dorito side of the field, a player in that center stand-up wedge, and a player on that snake tower. Trying to play a slow point, making sure that they don't throw bodies away recklessly. 1 minute and 50 seconds on the clock. They have plenty of time to score this point. They seem to be opting for a tie in the series to resolve in overtime. We'll see how these guys decide to play it. Great play action here coming into the snake. Getting in there, hopefully alive. This is the thing they need to win this next point, to tie the series. They might even be able to get some more game time in here if they decide to close out this point quickly with this snake move. Has to be very careful. Let's see. Let us see. Definitely taking some heat. Do not die in this situation. Gotta be a little quiet. He might be able to hear me. Nice. Good move. Trying to follow him right now on the camera. Good moves. It does appear to be a cross-field hold for Bloodhawks. 2 players versus 3 in favor of Scottsdale Elevation. Definitely do not want to lose your body here. Now, for those of you at home who have not watched my breakout video or have watched this layout or played it rather, the snake corner that is in front of this guy on your left side of your screen can actually not see this player right now if he plays tight enough. The biggest risk you're going to run into is for him to step outside of his bunker in the open just to be able to see him and shoot him. But he opts to play nice and tight, playing really slow. Huge movement up from the Dorito side. I don't think the snake player knows that he's made that move. He has to be so careful coming up over the top of here. This is how you lose your body. I'm not sure if he's getting any communication from his teammates to tell him, but he's going to get run down here in just a second. His teammates come in clutch, protecting him. Guys, I have to be a little quiet. I can't spoil everything for these guys out here on the field. Great protection from his teammates. They really need to score this point. They've only got 18 seconds left on the clock. I'm not sure if they're aware of the time. The Dorito side needs to come in clutch here. I'm not sure there's any Dorito push going on right now. 11 seconds, 10 seconds. Come on, guys, you got to push. You got to push. You don't have the time. 6, 5, go, go, go. Oh. That is an unfortunate way to lose a point that you had definitely won. It was at least a 2-on-1 in this situation. You got to put that point together much quicker. Let's see how many bodies come off the field. It's at least 2.
No points. Game finished.
Oh, man, that is unfortunate. Now I'm seeing another body coming. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Seeing another buddy coming off of here. It might have been actually, so it looks like it was a 2-on-2. So I had the body count wrong. It was at least a 2-on-2, so not so bad. It looked to be that Bloodhawks actually may have had a body advantage that I didn't realize, or at least was equal in that situation. But you got to be aware of the game clock. You know, as they say, if you are at 0 game time, you should have no bodies left alive if you're trying to win that point. So unfortunate defeat for those guys. I'm not sure where we are in the schedule, but if they've got another game, wishing the best of luck to Scottsdale Elevation. Good job, Bloodhawks, for winning that point and winning that series. Now, again, Going back to Regime versus North Cal Kings. We are going to look at North Cal Kings, I believe. NorCal, maybe it's just North, not North. NorCal Kings on your screen right now. 8 minutes and 47 seconds left. They're up 2-1. They're still in a pretty solid position to hold out and burn some time before they try to make any sort of push towards Regime. But we'll see what they opt to do. Now, one thing you got to consider is if you're in NorCal Kings' position, the obvious move is for you to play and sit back and wait for a Regime to come to you. But if you do end up doing that, like I said, it is obvious. Something that you can shoot for depending on the layout. So you have a choice. You can either do the obvious thing by playing back and letting Regime come to you. You can play the game as normal, where you read and react based on kills, which you should always do. Or you can play aggressive and try to surprise them with a sort of counterpunch. A lot of professional teams like to do that. They don't like to play defensive unless they absolutely have to. I would argue Dynasty is definitely the master at playing a defensive game, even when they're in commanding lead. But let's take a look at this game with 10 seconds left in the break time. We are going to go to, again, North Cal Kings here on your screen. Give me just a moment, gentlemen.
You guys ready?
10 seconds.
All right, we are back here with Regime versus North Cal Kings. NorCal Kings, excuse me. I keep wanting to say North Cal. Breaking out, nice movement here. Again, curious to see what NorCal Kings decides to do with this lead. They do lose a center player as they try to make that move on. Oh, I'm hearing a call for time. Not sure what's going on here. Unclear as to what just happened. Not sure if there was any sort of technical error, if there was a timeout called, or rather a towel hung. We'll see if the score tells us. It looks like NorCal Kings toweled that point. Unclear why, but maybe we'll get some more clarity as we go into that second point in that series, or excuse me, the 5th point in that series. But going into this next series, we'll see how things are going to shake out. How are you guys doing at home? Are you enjoying the stream? If you are, please be sure to let us know in the chat, in the comments, wherever this video is going to exist. Honestly, it's a pretty amazing production, despite the fact that it is in almost the dirt. So really good job on Ryan for putting this together, and anybody else involved in the broadcast staff. Great job, guys. Love to see local tournaments or regional tournaments broadcast. We got to do something, right? We got to do something more than just coming here and playing games. We got to shout out our homies, play some fun paintball, make sure to let everybody know what we're doing. if you do have friends and family, I'm enjoying the Hawks. Man, we got a diehard fan in the chat. Gamer DHS loves the Hawks. Hey, I love the Bloodhawks too, man. I got some good friends on that team. All right. Let's take a look. I'm not sure if we're replaying that point. Nope. That was definitely... man, I don't get paid enough to figure out this. What's going on here? All right. Going into this 5th point here now. I'm wondering if we're an X ball at this point. I didn't remember seeing a mercy rule, but again, North Cal Kings versus Regime. Now the game is equalized, ladies and gentlemen. It is essentially as if it was 0-0 on the board right now, but we only have 8 minutes and 39 seconds left. However, players do not forget, North Cal Kings are down a little bit in terms of momentum. Regime has definitely clawed their way back into this series, being very disciplined on their shots. Let's see where they decide to go off the break here. Let's take a look at Regime on your screen, on the left side at least. Unclear what happened to the last point with the Kings heady hitters. So we'll take a look here on the series. Big risk Dorito side, getting all the way into that Dorito 2 on the inside of those that Dorito tape. Great move off the break. Love to see, you know, as teams start to primarily shoot for that snake runner, you can start taking riskier and riskier routes into the Dorito side until they try to punish you for that, and then you can go into the snake. So love to see it. Again, Regime up here on your screen, on the left side of your screen, rather. Difficult, it seems to be, getting out of that Aztec on the snake side of the field. They don't seem to have any other bodies wider than that. Great play action here. Again, on the Dorito side of the field, stepping out into that dead zone, trying to pick off somebody up the middle. Possibly their mirror, unclear. Let's take a look over here on the left side of the field. The red side of the field with NorCal Kings. They've got a pretty standard back center setup, doubling the tall wedge, it looks like. Yep, definitely 2 players in that standing wedge, 2 players in the Aztec, and I believe a player in the Dorito corner playing heads up. It looks like no player has been able to get anybody into that snake. I'm not sure that, I'm trying to see if there's anybody in that Dorito corner. Nope, that's where the player is. He's in that Dorito side box, so a little bit equal in terms of where they decided to push, but just as I say that, NorCal Kings loses their snake side attacker, and shortly after loses the snake side heads up, other snake player, excuse me, heads up on that standing wedge, losing 2 bodies now, 5-on-3 in favor of Regime. Again, momentum is massively in their favor at this point. They're in prime position to win this game, making it 3-1, 3-2. We'll see if they can get anybody in the snake, which as I say that, they do. Sorry guys, trying to follow. And here comes a towel in on this point, no doubt. On NorCal Kings' end of things, yes, Regime winning that point. A towel from NorCal Kings. NorCal Kings needs to figure out what they can do to stop that Dorito route. They got to be careful, because now if you try to target that Dorito player, well, are they going to run the guy in the same lane? I don't think so. So now the question is, well, are they going to play short because they're up a point, or are they going to risk a snake side body because they're expecting us to shoot Dorito? All things you have to consider if you're going to be a coach at this level in the Premier Division. Lots of mind gaming, lots of reading and reacting to your players' tendencies. Let's take a look here. It does appear to be an X-ball situation for those of you at home who are unfamiliar with paintball. X-ball is a situation in which you only have 2 minutes in between each of your points to get cleaned up, get off the field, get cleaned up, get paint, get air, get your play, and get back out onto the field. It's definitely a panic rush situation if you're not organized, but I would expect both teams are organized here at this level of play in the Premier Division. Not sure, but I want to say I only saw 3 players off the box. Really interesting. They had 5 up. Okay. Hey, I appreciate you guys in the chat keeping things honest, helping keep tabs. Like I said, after this series, we'll hopefully be able to get the main heads-up camera going so we can have a little bit clearer of a view of what's going on here. And I'll try to do my best at steering this ship as best as I possibly can. Let's take a look at the right side of the field here, as we'll be looking at NorCal Kings' perspective. Definitely in the minds of these players now is, how can we stop them from pushing that Dorito side? Got to make sure we have heavy guns up. Got to stay alive in our bunkers. Cannot afford to be dying out of your bunkers at this level of play. You have to be shooting next packs and backs by making safe, supported moves. Moves with your teammates. Moves that are communicated. Again, moves that are supported. So let's see what happens here with 7 minutes left on the clock. Still plenty of time. Lots of time to make adjustments here as we go into the 6th point between Regime and NorCal Kings. Again, let's take a look at NorCal Kings breakout here. How many guns are they going to have up? And look, like they're showing two deep runners right now with only 3 guns up, and in fact, that is what they have, risking both sides of the field. A nice dead zone play on the snake side of the field, running up to that can, playing heads up, trying to keep him out of the snake. They are definitely trying for a snake side push as they're trying to filter their player from that box on the right side of your screen here, on the left image. That's kind of a hard thing to say. Looks to be a double stack of the home and a Dorito risk. Again, I think they're in the tower. We can't quite see, so it's a little unclear. Gonna see if we can see where that body is. It appears to be that they're in that tower, so, or possibly the baby Dorito on that side of the field. Ooh, player getting checked for NorCal Kings here in that can. That's a very, very difficult bunker to survive in as the point develops. He's definitely going to want to get some kills or get out of there as fast as he can. If you have to drop your gun heads up, you are in trouble. So his job is definitely to lock down the snake side, and as I say that, he gets plucked out. Very, very difficult spot to survive in. It's really more of a leapfrog bunker to get out of there, but if the team, if your opponents pick up on that, they're going to punish you and keep you there. Let's take a look over for Regime and how these guys are doing. They are at that snake side tower, and I believe the Dorito side tower here. Unclear how many bodies are left alive as well, as it appears to be that there's a snake corner, a snake side tower, someone in the Dorito tower here, possibly a 4th body lingering somewhere. I mean, at least as far as I can tell, it is a 4-on-4 situation as Regime gets a body into the snake. Great move as he's going to start looking Dorito side. Now, you can't see super well on the blue side of the Doritos, but the snake side player is definitely going to be looking for Dorito side players as he looks on the inside of the field. Regime dropping a body on the Dorito side. Now a 3-on-4 potentially situation as we see a run down on the Dorito side of the field. Regime picks up on that run through. He's going all the way, possibly taking out 2 bodies on the Dorito side. And as I say that, he gets picked off, I believe, in the pod pack from his teammate. Unclear. NorCal Kings pulling out a beautiful point with that run through, tying up the series with about 5 minutes left. Good job, NorCal Kings, staying in this series. Again, we do resolve ties in the Premier Division at this event. Unclear if we do for the rest of the divisions, but for the Premier, we absolutely do. All right, good job. Good job, NorCal Kings. Good job, Regime. If you guys want me to start with Regime's breakout, press 1 in the chat. If you want me to start off with NorCal Kings breakout, press 2 in the chat. You guys can decide the fate of the stream right now. Please cast your votes. Let me know which side, who you want to see in this next momentum deciding point. This could be the end of the series. Tied 3-3 right now with 5 minutes left. Both teams are definitely going to be playing very, very careful. So we shall see what they decide to do. Wow, lots of lots of NorCal Kings fans in here wanting to see their breakout, right? I said 2 NorCal Kings, didn't I? I could be wrong. Somebody correct me. All right. What am I watching? That is a great question. I think this is called Shooty Ball. No, it's definitely Gel Blasters. Wish I was there in the pits with you guys. Yeah, wish you were here too. Yes, okay. NorCal Kings it is. We will definitely watch NorCal Kings. Man, where are the Regime fans in here? I thought we had Regime in it. I don't know how to say your name. Snumask. This is a Twitch chat, by the way, for those of you on Facebook right now. I'll give you some love here in a minute. I'm gonna call you Snuma. Gotta show support for your boys. Let's see. Why aren't the playing getting bags of Doritos? That's a good question. Good question. You know, there's a story behind how Doritos and paintball got their name, and I don't know that story. Okay, this is Regime. Let's go over to NorCal Kings with 5 minutes left in the series. Tied 3-3. Definitely NorCal Kings. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get this situated. All right, here we go. NorCal Kings definitely coming off of a strong win that last point, tying the series. Momentum is definitely in their favor, but at this point, honestly, it's pretty equal. We'll see what ends up happening. Now, Regime, there we are. There's the support and the love. Breakout pretty strong here. 4 guns up, double stacking the home, risking the Dorito body. That's a play they've done all day long, at least in this series, and they do lose their Dorito corner. 1 body coming off for NorCal Kings. Response coming in from the snake side, getting up to that snake side tower, and unfortunately getting picked off as he does so, dropping 2 bodies. You got to be really careful to make these secondary moves when you lose a body, because against a good team, they're going to be shooting the gaps behind, and I say that, they lose a body out of the middle. This is definitely a towel situation, losing a 4th body. There's only 1 body left alive on the Snake side for NorCal Kings. They need to put this together and towel the point to salvage as much time as possible, as there's no shot that Regime is going to lose this game at this point. Definitely want to conserve as much time as possible. Oh, perhaps I was wrong.
Towel.
I do see a player coming off the field on the Dorito side. Man, it is hard to see. This is a tiny camera from my perspective, so excuse me for not keeping track of the bodies. All right, well, we did see NorCal Kings, their breakout. Let's take a look. That was 4 guns up, 1 risking on the Dorito side. Did not make it. So now the question is, are they going to risk that same body that they've been doing point after point? Or are they going to pull short, or are they going to change the risk? Are they going to risk a body again on the Dorito side going somewhere else, or are they going to risk now a Snake side push, either to the corner, Snake off break, into the juice box? Who knows? We'll see. But let's take a look at Regime as we go into this next point here with 4 minutes and 26 seconds on the clock. Let's go, Kings. Got a lot of fans in here between Regime and NorCal Kings. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Now, I am on a streaming setup that I'm not super familiar with, so I apologize for you Facebook fans that have been chatting, who I have not been giving any love to. Hey, here we are. First comment I read, do better, Steven Peterson, from Facebook user. What's up, everybody on the Facebook chat? I can now see both of you. Please say nice things. Let's see. This bracket is tough. If Kings can win and Hawks win, it's 3-1 tie between the 3-point management. Wow. Could see a 3-1 team getting sent home. That would be insane. Absolutely unbelievable. Playing for point margin, Kyle says in the chat. You can definitely do better. JK, good job. Oh, so here's what's happening. We have a fight between Twitch and Facebook. We had all of the Regime supporters coming in from Facebook and all of the NorCal Kings supporters coming in from Twitch. I think we're going to start a rivalry that will never end. Will be the destruction of modern society as we know it between Facebook and Twitch. No survivors will be left.
10 seconds.
I'm just kidding. All right, let's take a look at Regime as we watch their breakout. Again, momentum is now back in their favor with 4-3 with 4:26 left on the clock. Solid breakout, 4 guns up, risking a deep Dorito body into that Dorito 2. I believe that was the move they did 2 points ago. Could have been the one they did last point, not sure. But great break, great start off the break, not losing a single body right now for Regime. Strong body presence, that Dorito player opting to hold the center push. The beautiful thing about this play is when you get that Dorito player up to that Dorito 2, we'll call it, and he stares up the middle of the field, not only do you lock down the Snake side, but you also prevent anybody from getting up to that center X. So great job on Regime for a really smart high-level play, because right now at this point, if you double stack the home and you take a conservative break along the back line, your biggest concern is for somebody to get up to that center X and squeeze you out of that middle. Great play action here again for Regime, breaking out into that Dorito side can to support his Dorito player, and then followed through with that center tower breaking out into that Dorito Aztec. So great field coverage. Now you start to see on your screen blue side, NorCal Kings getting into that Dorito 2, I believe. I don't know if you guys call the baby Dorito anything or just the baby. That's what we call it. We call it the baby, but great move here as they start to mirror up Regime right now. Let's take a look for NorCal Kings and what's going on their side of the field. Unclear how many bodies are left alive. I can see 3 right now, possibly 4 in that juice box. Unclear if there's a 5th. Great job for them staying alive here in this really crucial point with 3 minutes left in the series. They're down 1 point. They definitely have to drive this ship. Regime does not need to come to them at this point. They need to get into good positions, lockdown zones. NorCal Kings needs to put together where those zones are being held and shoot those players to get them in and move up the field. Again, really solid hold from that center player for NorCal Kings, shooting Snake Way. Can't let that drop, even if you're trying to get communication from your teammates. You got to shoot tons of paint through that gap, not letting them break out. Again, Dorito picture on your screen on the right side. Regime getting a little bit better field position up in that Dorito 4, we'll call it. You know what? We're just going to call it the Big Dorito. Just kidding. We'll figure out a better name for that. But getting in there, looking cross field now, maybe opting to look heads up. in a really strong position to start wrapping and closing out this point. Got to be very careful for Regime and what they're doing on the Dorito side. I'm going to try to give you guys a dual action here so you can see Dorito side on both sides of the field. Ooh, did we lose a player out of the middle for NorCal Kings? Is that a towel? That is a towel at 2 minutes and 7 seconds. I believe that is going to be a NorCal King towel. It is 5-3 with 2 minutes left. You either have to score 2 points in 2 minutes to just tie it, or you got to do something quicker than that. That's a pretty tough situation to be in, so good job for Regime. Again, that deep Dorito route seems to be working well for them. If you're in NorCal King's position, you got to find the shot to pluck that player out or do something to match it. It seems to be that the snake move off the break is too risky. There's just nobody making it alive, nobody willing to risk it. You got to figure out some way to respond to that Dorito deep route, because that seems to be what's working out for Regime right now. So good job on them. Well played. Facebook user, you know who I am. Yeah, you know what? I see about 17 of you in the chat right now, so I definitely know which one you are. You guys are like the minions out here. Good job, Regime all day. Rundo says, excuse me if I get your name wrong. You're 100 times better than what we used to. Guns up. Mike, love you, buddy. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Glad to be here. Hopefully the stream is entertaining. Hopefully it's enjoyable. I love Premier Division. I love paintball, so trying to make it as exciting as I can for you guys while I die out here in the heat. Nobody is around me. If you stop hearing me, definitely call some support. Send a welfare check to hot Paris, California. Beautiful day, beautiful first day. Wish I could have seen more of the matches here, but definitely didn't get in here until about an hour or so ago. Glad to be here, though. Hopefully, again, the audio quality is going to be doable. We'll get things sorted out here later in the day. Hopefully, by the time Sunday comes around, I hope you guys are ready for some Sunday paintball in a couple of days in the Premier Division here at the WCPPL West Coast Classic 2023. Man, I want to do a Matty Marshall impression. I can't do his voice. I feel like I need a microphone. All right. Or rather, his microphone. All right, here we go. Breakout for Regime. 4 guns up. Really strong. I think they went to the Dorito corner here. Nice filter through. Really, really good play action. Really good development for Regime. Huge run through in the middle for NorCal Kings. Taking out at least a player, if not 2. Lucky to not draw a penalty there. That was a massive move. Good job. Good job for NorCal Kings. 1 for 2 trade right now. Looks like there's some refs coming out to check the other player. Unclear if he was tagged. Definitely taking some stock into what's going on. His body comes off the field. Really fast point for NorCal Kings. I believe they only have 1 player left alive, if that. Wow, great point for NorCal Kings. As you can see, they do put together that there's a Dorito corner, if that. Again, really good point. 1 minute and 19 seconds left. As we said, they needed to score 2 points in 2 minutes. Really good job for NorCal Kings. Way to put that point together. I'm really curious to see. We're going to keep the screen on the moving camera on the right side so that we can see what their breakout's going to look like. I wish I had caught that move. Excellent read. Wow, love to see the run-throughs, especially with the center X, man. It just brings back some good memories. Doesn't it say my name? It doesn't. I'm not sure why. Unclear, but what are the next matches? Good question. I have not pulled up the score, the schedule yet. I'm going to do that right now. I'm not a commentator, really. I mean, I am, but, you know, not a good one. But let's pull it up here and see what the schedule looks like. Those of you who want to follow the scores at home, go to pbleagues.com. Create an account if you don't have one. I believe you have to in order to see this. And then check out WCPPL. All right, here we are. Going to the Premier Division, checking out the schedule. Yes, that's right. I am commentating what I'm doing on my phone as we wait for this next point to start. So right now, we have Bloodhawks versus Scottsdale Elevation. No, excuse me. That game, what am I talking about? I can see it on my screen right now. Regime versus NorCal Kings. Next series on the field is going to be Los Angeles Collision versus Vegas Brawlers and Seattle Cartel versus Vegas Golden Misfits. powerhouse stacked split deck coming up here, followed by the last game on this field is going to be Hunters versus Raw Material and TJ Bastards, excuse me, Mom, forgive me, versus BTA Butchers. That'll be following that next series. So, coming back, Regime versus NorCal Kings. 1 minute and 19 seconds left on the clock. We're going to look at the NorCal Kings breakout. How are the pits? Muddy? Pits are pretty dry, actually. Unfortunately, as you guys, if you were here last event or even heard anything about this last event, it was quite muddy. So, I did not bring my boots, my gaiters, but the forecast was showing that we were going to get rained on, and it was a 100% chance. But, you know, it's California. Things change. California weather's crazy. Let's see. We might get the Flying V King style. Let's see. I'm very curious. Let's go NCK. Come on, Kings. Got lots of Kings fans in the Twitch chat. This is a great match, Facebook user. The Facebook user says, such a sick match, NorCal versus NorCal. Hey, what's up, G? What's up, Facebook user? I don't know why I can't see your guys' names. Something, you know, it's weird. I think I'm getting chat from Facebook and YouTube in the same thing, and I can see YouTube names. So, obviously, choose where you want to view. If you want me to read your name, go to YouTube, go to Twitch.
20 seconds.
But, you know, maybe keep Facebook open as well. I don't know. Hold the line. Supa in the chat says 13 seconds left on the break timer as we're taking a look at NorCal Kings breakout. Let's see how many guns they opt to have alive. I'm going to try to get a wide angle here so you guys can see where they go off the break, which body they choose to risk. Looks to be 4 guns up, getting into that snake side tower, double stacking the home, and a beautiful dead zone play into that Dorito 2 bunker for NorCal Kings. I talked about it on my live stream. If you guys didn't see that of me breaking down this layout, you absolutely missed out. SVP Paintball on YouTube, Twitch, I mean not Twitch, YouTube, not Facebook, what am I talking about? Instagram, lots of different places you can find me, but unfortunately, NorCal loses their Dorito attacker as Regime is able to keep theirs alive. Play action here up in the middle of the field as NorCal tries to move out of that center, that taller center wedge to the smaller as he hopefully tries to leapfrog out of there and get into that center X. That's a difficult spot to stay alive in. But again, guns rolling, bodies alive. I believe it's a 5-on-4. At least I haven't seen anybody from Regime dropping. So let's take a look at what's going on here on this side of the field. Definitely huge move up for NorCal, getting up into that center X. Hearing a hit call on, oh, he gets plucked out of there, and a minor penalty thrown on NorCal, 1-for-1. That is devastating to happen at 20 seconds left in the series. That surely, and another minor penalty coming out for NorCal. As you can see on the right side of your screen, unclear what happened. I mean, 2 minors, or is it the same minor? Unclear, but there's no way there's any bodies left alive. NorCal, or excuse me, Regime definitely trying to score that point for point margin, and from GJ Sakaguchi, no less, representing the Brooklyn Bears. And the player is marked clean. Marked clean for Brooklyn Bears, excuse me, marked clean for Regime. That is going to be a 6-4 series with 3 seconds left. They don't play anything under 10, at least in the NXL, likely in the WCPPL. I don't even think that'd be, what would you do with 3 seconds? So, unfortunate, heartbreaking loss for NorCal Kings. Unclear what happened. I'm not sure if that center X player drew the penalty and there was another penalty assessed. It has to be. There was a lot of bodies that came off, but really defeating way to lose that crucial point in that series. Unfortunate for NorCal Kings, but congratulations, Regime, on winning that point. If somebody in the chat wants to let me know what their record is for both teams, that would be awesome. Really, really appreciate it. Okay, you guys, I wish you could see what I see when Facebook decides to communicate, because it literally says Facebook user, Facebook replying to Facebook user. Sup, broski? Lol, Facebook doesn't show the name. Rufino, ONG Studios, leaving Vallejo? I don't know. I'm not from I'm from California, but from the more northern part. Apologize if I get that wrong. See you guys tomorrow morning. Absolutely safe travels. Double minor. Sheesh. Yeah, that was brutal. Let's go, Regime. Congratulations again as we get ready here for this Vegas Brawlers versus Los Angeles collision. Now, I did have a chance. It's a video that's coming up soon. Hopefully next week on the Go Sports YouTube channel. It's an interview between me and Scott Stewart talking about their win against Blast Camp in the NXL Lone Star Major. Be sure to check that out when it drops. But I believe Colt Lukau, Scott Stewart, and Trenton Mason, I believe, are playing for Los Angeles Collision. So at least that was the word that I got before this event. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. But congratulations to again to Regime. We'll be curious to see how this next series goes. I'd love to be able to grab GJ, have him say a couple things here really quick. Maybe he can give us some clarity on what happened in that series. But if he comes by, I'll definitely be sure to grab him. Oh, let's see. How's the chat doing? Too much talkie. Gets the flag. Yeah, I'm not sure. Is that second penalty coming from a dead player talking? I'm not sure. That was pretty unfortunate. Slap Bomb is now following. Beautiful name. Love to see it. They needed that win and by a good spread to move on. Oof. Unfortunate. So it sounds like NorCal Kings' journey in the WCPPL has ended. Sorry to say, sorry to hear. Same player talked twice. Oof. Hate to see it. Hey, yo, Scott Stewart. Oh, that's not a nice thing. Hey, that man's a homie. Hey, Scott Stewart's a good dude. But lest I incite a war with chat. Stream's looking sick this year. Good job, guys. Yeah, absolutely. Ryan did a great job. Anybody else who set up this broadcast is doing an excellent job. I'm just talking into a microphone. Let's see. I think they can still get in as wild card. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to see. Tell him TM said he knows? Okay. Is that Tim or TM? I'll be sure to let him know. If I can grab him, I would love to. But I'm not sure he's going to walk this way, as I believe that was definitely the last game of the series. TM, okay, sounds good. Let's take a look over here at Facebook chat. They do play under 10 in the NXL if a team decides to. Okay, there you go. There you go. Couldn't imagine what a 3-second point would look like. I would imagine everybody just loader dumps. Wouldn't that be awesome? Vallejo, man, you're giving me linguistics lessons here in the chat. 46 seconds left in break time. What's up, gentlemen? Hey, can one of you guys do me a favor? If you guys know, if you know GJ Sakaguchi, could you tell him that I want that Steven Peterson wants to talk to him really quick at the broadcasting booth? Yeah, the Brooklyn Bears jersey. Yeah, they just finished, so he should be over there somewhere. Just tell him I want it for like 30 seconds. Sweet, thank you. Am I commentating the whole stream, or will I be coaching Desert Edge? I will definitely be coaching Desert Edge tomorrow and however far they make it into Sunday. But in between those games, and depending on what happens on Sunday, I will definitely be coaching. Or excuse me, definitely be commentating. So hopefully you don't get tired of my voice. That's why I want to know if the audio quality is good, because you're going to be hearing this a lot this weekend. Let's get started here with 2 seconds in the break time. Collision versus Brawlers. Huge game here on your screen right now. Beautiful breakout. Beautiful dead zone play for the red side of the field. Unfortunately, losing a body off the break on that double stacking of the home. Players and teams seem to be picking up on what is going on in that series. Or excuse me, what is going on in those breakouts. So really good job for Collision. I believe that's Scott Stewart right now on your screen here on those red ProFlex goggles. Red framed ProFlex goggles. Let's take a look a little closer. It's got to be him. Dirty Stu. Staying alive in that bunker. Very difficult spot to stay alive in, as we do see a player for Brawlers coming off out of the center X. Let's take a look at the Brawlers side of the field as we pan over here. I believe that's just one body off the field. I haven't heard any other hit calls. Should be 54 in favor of Collision right now. Nobody wider than, I believe, this Aztec. I can't see anybody in the snake. Nobody in the snake corner. It's going to be really difficult to get out of that spot with Collision having a player in that snake side can. So let's see how things play out here again, as we're in a 54 situation in favor of Collision. I believe Scott Stewart still alive somehow in that snake side can. That's a difficult spot to stay alive in. Great play action here again for Collision to develop the Dorito side of the field. As you can see on the right side of your screen, in that Dorito 2, we'll call it moving into that Dorito 3. Great movement here. The ball is definitely in his court, as I don't believe there's anybody in the snake side for Collision so far. Looking on the inside of the field, trying to pluck out anybody on the snake side, anybody out of the middle, especially, as we see some quite a lot of movement coming in here from that center player, trying to play both sides of the field. Really difficult spot in this situation. You've got to put together where the bodies are, who you need to hold and contain. I would have loved to have seen them be able to pull out that snake side player, but as I say that, we have a mirror up in the Dorito 3s right now on the right side of your screen. Huge movement into the snake, as I believe he gets plucked out. He does. Brawlers risking a snake body. Snake move does not make it. Huge heads-up snap battle as both players try out on the Dorito side. Excellent job. I believe Collision's up on bodies right now. I can see at least two on the left side of the screen. It's at least a 2-on-2, if not a 2-on-1. I cannot believe Dirty Stu has stayed alive in that snake can. That is a very difficult bunker to survive in. Unbelievable. Good job for Collision to win that first point. Now we got Seattle Cartel versus Golden Vegas Misfits on your screen here with 50 seconds left on the break timer.
Seconds. 20 seconds. Ten seconds.
300!
Oh wait, no, we're here. We're still live. Trying to fix our audio issues on the main camera here, so give us just a second. Oh, I believe you got it. Okay.
It's on studio mode. I'm gonna take it off.
Okay, yeah, beautiful.
That's why I said maybe you should ban.
All right, we are back. We have this audio situation sorted. I do coach Dynasty, says Facebook user. Again, I wish I could see the names. I cannot see the names of Facebook users typing in the chat, but they are playing for Collision. Yes, I believe you're talking about Scott Stewart and
Evan.
the rest of the crew.
Evan Brentauer.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So, let's take a look here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see what happened the last game as we were trying to sort out some audio issue. Looks like Golden Vegas Misfits winning that first point against Seattle Cartel as we go into the second match between Vegas Brawlers and Los Angeles Collision. Again, this is a stacked split deck. You definitely want to be watching this. Let your friends and family know this is a great showcase of paintball, high-level paintball right now. Tell everybody to tune in. If you guys have not followed the stream wherever you are watching it, please do so. Follow WCPPL on Twitch, on Facebook and on YouTube. Appreciate you guys' follows. Appreciate the love and the support. And be sure to follow SVP Paintball on YouTube and Instagram. So let's take a look here with Vegas Brawlers as they did lose that last point. Let's watch their breakout. I'll be curious to see which body they decide to risk. We will go into a main screen heads up
10 seconds.
with Vegas Brawlers here. Hey, hang tight for just a second. All right, let's check out the breakout here for Las Vegas Brawlers. Breaking out of the snake side corner, double stacking the home. Beautiful breakout for Vegas Brawlers right now. Great job to survive in that spot. Nice breakout so far. No bodies dropping. Ref definitely coming in to check. Oh, maybe we did lose a body for Vegas Brawlers on the Dorito side of the field. Let's take a look, see what's going on the opposite side. For LA Collision, also losing a body. I believe that's Colt Lucal walking off the field. As you can see, some decent play action here on the snake side. Again, losing another body on the field. I believe that's for Collision as well. Might be a 5-on-3 situation in favor of Vegas Brawlers. This is a really crucial point for them. If they can win this, they can tie the momentum, equalize the series early on. Definitely don't want to go down too many points early. It's hard to climb back physically, mentally, emotionally. I believe this is Scott Stewart. Heads up on your screen in the Snakeside Tower. He's got red JT Proflex frame. So I believe that is him playing strong heads up. Won the MVP at the NXL Lone Star Major. Trying to put in some work here for Collision on the snake side of the field. Seeming to be battling with the snake side corner right now. Trying to get into that snake. It's a crucial spot to get into to blow open the point. Great field spread and field coverage for Collision. Let's take a look over here for Vegas Brawlers as they break out from the snake side tower into the snake, but he gets caught doing so. Unfortunately, dropping another body. I believe it's a 3-on-4 situation in favor of Collision right now. I don't see any other Dorito bodies alive for Vegas Brawlers. Breaking out into that Dorito side corner. Great job. Good field spread. They're in a really good spot to equalize the down body situation that they find themselves in right now. Let's take a look for Collision, seeing how things are developing right now. Collision losing another body, I believe. Possibly a 2-on-3 situation in favor of Brawlers. If we can find another body here on your screen, then it might be a 3-on-3, but otherwise it looks to be a 2-on-3 situation. Now watch again, Dirty Stu playing heads up in the snake, trying to keep those bodies honest, keeping them out of the snake side. At this point, getting into the snake might actually be a disadvantage because you're crawling with your gun down, unable to apply pressure back. So we shall see how things go. He's battling for his life, trying to win this next series. Excuse me, this next point. Good field spread, 2-on-3 situation in favor of Vegas Brawlers. These are the drills that you run at home, ladies and gentlemen. These are the situations you need to play out, as this is the late game of this match. Great move for Vegas Brawlers, getting deep into that Dorito side of the field. You definitely at this point want to have your gun rolling, staying on your feet. As we switch back over to LA Collision, seeing what's going on. Again, good, decent coverage. Holding it, having a crossfield hold right now, protecting each other, swapping periodically. Now, as you watch on your rights on your screen right now, you'll see Dirty Stu switching heads up, switching back, communicating, telling his teammate where he's looking, making sure that they're staying connected.
Black shirt.
All right, sorry, excuse me. Coming back here again in this low body situation. 8 minutes and 57 seconds left on the clock. I can't believe this is point number 2. Collision in a perfectly okay situation to burn as much time as they can, as they are up 1-0 right now in the beginning of this series. Here are the bodies for Las Vegas Brawlers. Snakeside Tower looking cross. Standing Tall wedge in the back center, looking snake side. Dorito playing heads up. At this point, we got to put together some kind of game plan to work together. Now, the problem with the snake side tower looking cross field is they're not actually helping their Dorito player, who is the furthest up the field for either team, to push that side. I'd kind of like to see the snake tower playing heads up, holding the guy in front of him while the home player looks Dorito way to help his teammate get to that 40 Dorito, which it looks to be the case. We now have some great teamwork going on here right now as we switch back over to Los Angeles Collision. Taking a look at this 2-on-3 situation here. Again, Collision in a great spot to burn as much time on the clock as they need to with 7 minutes and 56 seconds left. All right. Again on your screen, Los Angeles Collision in a deadlocked point right now, 2-on-3. As we see some great Dorito side movement coming in on your screen, I'll switch to this dual screen right now. Take a look at this Vegas Brawlers Dorito player into that Dorito 4. Cannot die right now in this situation. This is a must-win point for them with as much time as they burnt off the clock. Cannot afford to lose this point, as he seems to be plucking out the players just like he needed to. Great job, Brawlers, for winning that point. Ladies and gentlemen, I have here with me GJ Sakaguchi from Regime winning that last point. So we saw on the broadcast 2 minors thrown. Do you know what happened in that?
You know what, Steven? It was the last point of the match. There was a penalty on the Dorito side. We knew there was one. We were unsure. I think it was a barrel hit or something, or even talking after, because both teams, my team and their team, were kind of chirping at each other. So I think there were some overshooting penalties, or like just some talking, some smack. You know, but at the end of it, everyone shook hands. You know, good sport, professional.
That was a great series to watch. Really, lots of play action, back and forth series. You guys went 4-0 in the prelims. How are you feeling going into Sunday?
You know, we have a lot of things we have to work on. Going 4-0 is always great, but it's better to go in 2-2 and 3-1, only because you learn your mistakes. So we're going to look at some footage, and hopefully we do feel pretty strong, but yes, we feel pretty good. Yeah.
Any teams you're worried about going into Sunday that you are, I mean, obviously you guys are poised to win the event, but any teams that you're more concerned on than others?
TJs, of course. Those guys are great laners, and Violence.
20 seconds.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much, DJ, for your time. Good luck tomorrow. Good luck on Sunday, because you guys aren't playing tomorrow, right? Did you finish all your... Oh, Saturday. Saturday is the finals. Okay, that's weird. I forget that they do that here. Hey, it's good to see you, buddy. Take care. I'm good for now, but thank you for asking. Appreciate it. All right. As we have on your screen here, Golden Vegas Misfits versus Seattle Cartel. As a solid breakout, running out at the snake corner, but dying, unfortunately. As a good risk. Great way to gain some intel as to what shots are on and what shots are off. As I believe that's Seattle Cartel on your screen on the left side here. Let's transition to the full screen. You guys can get a better picture of what is happening. Well, maybe we can transition. You know, we might be frozen here. All right. Stu says, sounds good over here for what it's worth. It's worth everything. Well, we're going to take a look here in this split cam perspective as I can't seem to transition screens. Oh, you know why? That's why. Here we go. Still trying to figure out the streaming setup. All right. Again, this series, Vegas Misfits up 1-0 to Seattle Cartel. Great play action out of the middle to get on the snake side tower. Now playing heads up with his teammate behind him. Trying to work his body into the snake. That's a crucial move to get out of this situation and to start applying pressure on the snake side of the field. But you got a lot of guns to shoot through. Got a lot of guns to go through, rather. So, 4 bodies alive for what I believe is Seattle Cartel on your screen. It might be Vegas Misfits if they're shooting die guns. Definitely Golden Vegas Misfits, but we'll see here in just a second as we have some great movement. This is definitely Seattle Cartel on your screen here. Hunter, number 11, getting into that snake. Oh my gosh, absolutely getting peppered right now by at least 2 or 3 different guys right now. This is a great situation for his team to counterpunch on the Dorito side of the field as he's drawn at least 2 guns, maybe at least 1. As you can see, that snake side Aztec shooting at him. The biggest thing you got to do is contain that snake player so he does not get out of that spot. He does not get to the corner, because if he does, Hunter on your screen will be shot out right now, but great job to gain dominance on that player. One of the only concerns for him right now is that player heads up in front of him. If he can pluck him out, they will surely win this point. Hunter almost could ignore this gun right now if he could get low enough to crawl, but he actually cannot avoid this player. He has to pluck him out, which he does, immediately wrapping onto that Dorito side Aztec player. 2 players walking off. Surely this next player is about to walk off as we get into a minor gun battle here, as I believe there are 2 players left alive for Golden Vegas Misfits. 1 player in the Dorito Tower and 1 player in the Snake, or excuse me, the Dorito Aztec. I could be wrong, but I believe it is a 3-on-2, if not 4-on-2, in favor of Seattle Cartel, as he does opt to get low underneath those shots. Great move, great decision. He can go all the way, in fact, and should be able to pluck out. Nope. And as I say that, the Dorito side tower player for Seattle, or excuse me, Golden Misfits comes out, and I believe it is, things are just concluding here. Might be a one-on-one situation. Would be very surprised if it was, as we now see Seattle Cartel running down the last player on the Dorito side of the field. Great job, great point for Seattle Cartel to tie the series with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left. Excellent job from Hunter. Great play action here. High IQ paintball. Love to see it here at WCPPL West Coast Classic 2023. Be sure to like all of their social medias and support the stream, the broadcast, which is, might I add, free to watch. So if you have friends and family who you've told you play paintball, definitely share the stream with them. We've only got this series and 1 more for today. These are some great series that you're watching now and you will watch after. So be sure to share the stream with them. Let them know how it's going out here in beautiful Paris, California. Weather's nice out here right now. It's not muddy, fortunately. Beautiful, beautiful. What up, GJ? How you doing? Did not manage to ask. Good to see you, Cyrus. All right. Facebook user says SK. Beautiful. Love it. Man, that's weird. I did not think that I would not be able to see Facebook users, but maybe it's because we're not friends. I don't know. Maybe like the page. You know, play WCPPL. Do you like that? David Ramirez for Los Angeles Collision, calling out Snakeside push. Definitely want to be aware of that. Ooh, as I do see that we have a little bit of paint splatter on the top left of your screen here on this camera. I will be sure to let Ryan know so we can definitely get that clean here before the next series. But here on your screen, we do have Los Angeles Collision versus Vegas Brawlers with 6 minutes and 53 seconds left. Beautiful 5 guns up as we run and gun to the snake corner alive. Amazing job from Los Angeles Collision. Beautiful to see that many guns alive, or that many guns up off a breakout. I don't think we've seen that quite yet. Opting to also, I don't think we have a double stack in the home. Could be wrong. Which is also a rarity. I feel like we're seeing constant double stacks in the home. Great play action here on the snake side of the field as the player opts to move out of that snake Aztec up into the snake tower. Playing heads up, trying to contain the snake as best as possible. Potentially filtering into the snake as a snake corner will surely shoot the wire, get him in to move down the field. Let's take a look. Oh, as I say that, beautiful move into the snake side for Los Angeles Collision. As I say that, let's move over to the Vegas Brawler side of the screen as the one body comes off the field. I see 3 players on the screen right now, potentially 4, as we have a pretty conservative backline positioning right now. Again, a player in the Snake Aztec, a player in the Dorito Aztec, and a player in the home bunker, that tall standing wedge. Looking Dorito side. Unfortunately, the bleeding is going to come from the snake for sure. For Vegas Brawlers, they need to do something to equalize that side of the field, or surely Collision is going to get all the way down their side of the snake, uncontested. And in fact, let's move our camera down here just a little bit so we can see if there's anybody at all. Yep, just as I say that, we've got a sneaky Stu, I believe. I love it that he's playing snake side. As I say that, he is in their snake side of the field. Surely the kills are going to start coming in now, as he's going to wrap on that snake side Aztec. If you can see his pack, he will surely pluck him out. He will then wrap on the Dorito Aztec and pluck him out. Oh, I don't know if he knows that there's a snake Aztec yet. He might. Opting to play cautiously, definitely. Yep, as he gets plucked out there. And he's going to wrap and shoot the inside of that player. Great job. Excellent job. Like clockwork out here for Dirty Stu. MVP of the NXL Lone Star Major for the semi-pro division. A hot contender. Paintball fit for the pro spot for the 2023 NXL season. We love to support other leagues, other divisions, but we're here at WCPPL in beautiful Paris, California. Now taking a look on your screen is, Vegas Golden Misfits versus Seattle Cartel. Two powerhouse teams, household names at this point. I think Seattle Cartel is relatively new, at least in the Premier Division in this region. So I know that they're a weathered team in the NXL, but I don't know if
20 seconds.
I don't know if I've seen them play the WCPPL a lot, because they would have had to have played the Premier Division. So, got 15 seconds left here in the break timer with 10 minutes and 12 in overall time.
10 seconds.
Misfits up 2-0 to Seattle Cartel. Watching the Misfits breakout. If you guys are trying to scout teams, now's the time. You're welcome, Vegas Misfits. Solid breakout. 3 guns up. 3 guns up with 2 bodies going wide on either side of the field. Unfortunately, Vegas Misfits loses 2 bodies off the break. Down 5-3 possibly right now in this third point of the series. Seattle Cartel in a great spot to not equalize, but pull the series back. Stopping the momentum in favor of Vegas Misfits. Now, anybody who plays paintball in the chat knows it is a really tough situation to be down 2 points early in a series, so for them to pull back here would be great for them. Again, losing another body. They have no Dorito side presence. The only bodies they have left alive are these 2 Snake players. One in the corner, one in the Snake 3 bunker right now, as you see, heads up on your screen. Trying to get both angles right now, pretty difficult. Let's take a look at who he's battling. Does not appear to have anybody mirrored up with him. Nobody in the corner. Does have somebody in that Snake side tower who will likely try to filter into the Snake. They need to be careful of the Dorito side push. Let's transition back here. As you can see, there is deep Dorito players right now on Vegas Misfits Dorito side, as well as a player up in that 50X who are surely going to close out the point for Seattle Cartel right now. Don't want to risk anybody's unnecessarily. Slow and controlled point. Good job for Seattle Cartel to win that point, pulling it back 1-2. Still in favor of Misfits, but plenty of time left to work with. Keep it up, Cartel, says Zach Dudley from Facebook. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. 39 of you in Twitch chat. I can't see how many people are watching it on Facebook or YouTube, fortunately. Let's see. Yep, no idea. Unclear. Love to know. I'd love to know the demographics. If you guys could tell me, if you can see how many people are watching it on Facebook and YouTube, please let me know in the chat. I'd love to know. Super curious to see what kind of coverage we get in the various platforms that we're streaming on here at the WCPPL West Coast Classic 2023. Man, I want to do a Matty Marshall so bad. I'm trying to do it a little bit. His is kind of like this. Welcome back. Nope, I can't do it. It's too much. It's too much of a presence to mimic. I certainly would not want to hurt his feelings, which I don't think I could at this point. All right, let's take a look here now. Let's transition back to this main screen. 3 Dorito, David Ramirez says here. Collision on your screen right now, I believe. Versus, again, Vegas Brawlers in a pretty decent spot. 2-1 with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. A very conservative Snake break, opting to pull short. Only going as far as the Snake side Aztec, double stacking the home. 1 player in the Dorito side Aztec and 1 player in the Dorito corner. And as I say that, Dirty Stu coming off the field for Collision. They definitely have plenty of other powerhouse players to close out the point. Great backfill for Collision right now to fill out that spot that they just lost. We surely will see now. Again, beautiful transition from the home player to look heads up. We now have an even distribution of guns. 2 looking Dorito way, 2 looking Snake way. You love to see high-level IQ paintball here at the WCPPL in the Premier Division. Great job at covering the empty gaps that they just lost by losing that body. All right, here, let's take a look. Take a look here for the Vegas Brawlers. Player at the Dorito corner, the home. Snake Aztec, Dorito Aztec. I believe it's a 4-on-4 situation right now. How are you? Nice play action. Thank you so much. Nice play action here from the Dorito side. Big move into that Dorito 2 for Vegas Brawlers right now, and a great spot to equalize this game at 3:37 left on the clock.
Is this late?
Yeah, I'm watching here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to drop it back down?
No, I'm good. I mean,
Good how you are?
yeah, this is fine. I'm totally fine.
If you want to go back, it's just Streamlabs tab. Second tab.
Okay.
And you look at TV link.
All right. Again, I believe it's a 4-on-4 situation. 3 minutes and 13 seconds left on the clock. Body in that baby Dorito, or Dorito 1, I think, looks like. Great distribution in the back line. Body, I believe, over here in the Doritos. Yes, you can see on your screen. Great move up to the center X, looking snake side, trying to blow open the point. Hopefully he doesn't get shot in the feet. He is looking for that Dorito player on Vegas Brawlers. That is the biggest concern for him right now. Is somebody shooting him in the feet, digging him out of here, but he's in a great spot to punish Vegas Brawlers for not breaking out wider than that. He does take out the back center player, and as I say that, a big break from the Dorito Aztec into that Dorito corner. Again, the center player trying to gunfight the guy in the middle. He does not need to do that right now. He just needs to stay alive. 5-on-3 situation in favor of Los Angeles Collision. Up 2-1 in the series with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. He is looking for that Dorito player, careful of his feet. He does. Somebody is able to pluck out that home player for Vegas Brawlers. This is surely going to be a towel for Vegas Brawlers as Los Angeles Collision goes up 3-1 into the series. Brawlers needs to put together the breakouts. That's a tough situation to be in now as, man, Collision's been showing a lot of discipline in their breakouts and making sure to make smart moves, smart decisions in what they and where they decide to risk those bodies. Let's take a look. The dual screen right now. All right, let me know in the chat who you want to see. Do you want to see Seattle Cartel's breakout or Golden Vegas Misfits? Type 1 in the chat if you want Misfits. Type 2 if you want Seattle Cartel, and I will be sure to show you their breakouts.
13,000 watching on Facebook.
That's awesome.
50,000 in the arena.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, hey, real quick. There is a smudge on the main camera, main movable camera. If somebody could wipe that off at some point, that would be awesome.
Try to get it in a
Okay.
bit. I gotta go.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. Thank you. All right, let's take a look here. Did we get any bites? 2 for Seattle Cartel so far. 1 for Vegas. Ooh, seeing a lot of 1s and 2s. We're gonna have to get started here. I did not get. Sorry, I got a little distracted here. We are going to take a look at the breakout for, I believe this is Cartel. Let's take a look at their jersey. This is Seattle Cartel as a player comes off the field. 4-on-5 situation in favor of Misfits. Ooh, dropping another body from the snake side. 3-on-5 situation in favor of Misfits. Not a great spot to be in. Ooh, as that backfill gets plucked. Great job, great discipline for Golden Vegas Misfits to shoot the secondary moves. Huge move up the middle to close out the point. Unbelievable job from Vegas Golden Misfits. Great discipline and execution on those backfill moves. You know, one of the things that you see a lot happen in Division 3 especially is they will get kills off the break out of those primary moves, out of those primary bunkers, but they won't be shooting the backfills or the moves that, you know, the fills that people try to make as soon as they lose that body. You can just have a little discipline to wrap on the inside of the guy that you just shot and shoot paint there as somebody tries to fill out. Man, you get a lot of casualties, a lot of follow-up kills as a result of that. So good job on Golden Vegas. Or, excuse me, I say Golden Vegas. Vegas Golden Misfits here. Is this SVP commentating? Dude, nah. This ain't him. What's up, Andrew? How are you? YouTube has 22 at the moment. Oops, I mean 13. 13K. Oh, that's funny. 13 on Facebook, 22 on YouTube, and 43 on Twitch. Hey, I think we know the platform and who won the platform wars. It's definitely Twitch. Surprising, to be honest. I tried to do Twitch content, streaming, and yeah, there was a pretty decent turnout here and there. But I feel like YouTube's the place. I'm surprised.
10 seconds.
10 seconds left. Break time. Los Angeles Collision versus Vegas Brawlers. Let's take a look here on your screen of Vegas Brawlers breakout. 4 guns up. Dorito risk body into that Dorito 2, using the dead zone as a route. For those of you at home who are playing tomorrow, Division 4 and Division 5, be aware that that inside dead zone route is very solid. But as I say that, Vegas Brawlers losing a body on the Dorito side off the break. Great fill out into that Dorito side tower to support his attacker. Oh, maybe that was the Dorito attacker that died, actually. Now great backline action for Vegas out to the snake side, but again they lose their Dorito backline. That backfill from the home out into the Dorito side, Aztec is fully covered on Collision side. They are not letting up those lanes. Good job on those backfills. It's why double stacking that spot is really tough. You're trading your vulnerability of getting pinched with having multiple guns up. Move up the middle for Los Angeles Collision results in a player dropping. That's at least one for LA Collision. Possibly a couple have dropped here at this point in the game. We do see a player in the Snake and Dorito Aztecs here as they try to put together the point of what's happening. I believe, at least as far as we can tell, it is a 2-on-2 situation. If not, there's a body hiding. We shall see here in a second. I'm going to slow pan. You guys keep your eyes peeled. Let me know who you see on your screen.
60 seconds.
As I believe, is that a Dorito corner? That is a Dorito corner and a Dorito attacker now. It looks to be possibly a 3-on-2 situation. Maybe a 4-on-2? You see somebody on the other side? Man, lots of Dorito movement here coming from Los Angeles Collision as they definitely finish out the point, making it a 4-1 in the series with only 42 seconds left. Surely Vegas Brawlers will not towel this point. If somebody in the chat could let me know, I could definitely pull it up right now on my phone, but if somebody could let me know what the series or what Vegas Brawlers point spread is, that would be awesome. I'd love to know. I definitely need to get a towel in here. I can't hardly see the screen with all the dust. Well, I see headbands, Hormesis headbands. Those make pretty good towels, huh? I think so. All right, let me wipe this off so I can see the chat here. Shouldn't it be 2-1 for Cartel? I don't think so. But let me see. Point before last, Cartel had a player in their Snake and a player alive D side, I thought. Oh, you mean in terms of bodies? Yeah. No, I thought you were talking about the point spread. Yeah, you're right. MP, I can't say the last part of your name, has now following. Thank you for following the Twitch stream. 39 of you. Beautiful people.
Point approved.
Mackenzie, Ellett, Troy, Burke in the chat for YouTube, and Ray R. Quick water break here in hot and sunny Paris, California at the WCPPL West Coast Classic. Brought to you by Matrix Gear USA, Violence Paintball, and Gunfighter. Hopefully that's not all the sponsors. If I missed you, I apologize. But here we go into the next series. Vegas Golden Misfits versus Seattle Cartel. 8 minutes left on the clock. We are going to take a look at what is making Vegas Misfits so successful
20 seconds.
in this series right now. Let's take a look at their breakout. Note how many guns alive, or how many guns up they have off the break, and where they're risking the bodies. Or again, for those of you who are watching the stream who are playing tomorrow, Divisions 4 and Divisions 5, this is a great opportunity to learn what proper paintball looks like out here on the Premier Field. Again, let's take a look at their breakout. They had 3 guns up, 2 risk bodies, 1 going into the snake box, the other using the dead zone, getting up to that Dorito side can. Great secondary moves from the home up to that mini wedge, and then again up to the X. Vegas Misfits pressing the issue right now against Seattle Cartel. Again, this is a beautiful mind game right now with Marcelo Margot, I believe, coaching the Vegas Misfits. Even though you're up in the series with plenty of time, you do not want to telegraph to your opponents what you're likely going to do, and the obvious play would be to play back on your heels if you're in Vegas Misfits situation, but they do not opt to do that. They opt to punch very hard and very fast up the middle here. As now that center player looking under the X, on the side of the X, trying to find shoes, pods, bodies, whatever he can see. As we now see some bodies likely coming off the field for Seattle Cartel. And I see at least 2 players. Not sure that there's more, possibly 3. We do have one in the snake side, Aztec shooting cross on the Dorito, and another player in front of your screen here in the home looking snake way, trying to keep him out. That snake side Aztec shooting back and forth, trying to pick up the jobs that have been lost. And as I say that, he comes off the field. Now, possibly only one body left alive for Seattle Cartel. Definitely a towel situation, but it's tough to say with only 6 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock, going down 1-4. It's a hard point margin to come back from, but this is the Premier Division. I've seen crazier things. Great job from Golden Vegas Misfits. Again, going up 4-1 in the series with 6 minutes and 42 seconds left on the clock. Hard point margin to come back from. Vegas, again, Misfits opting to go very hard up the middle. Lots of movement early on in the point. That's a difficult situation to be in because, again, if you are the one, if you're Seattle Cartel and you're thinking they're probably going to play defensive, we need to play offensive, oftentimes teams opt to run with their guns down. They oftentimes will have 2-3 guns up, when really, if you're down bodies, or rather down points, you need to have more guns up. You need to shoot more of them off the break. Because if you don't, you run the risk that we just saw here where you allow people to take big bites off the break without punishing them. So tough situation to be in for Seattle Cartel. Appears to be an X-Ball situation. Again, for those of you who are home, new to paintball, X-Ball is a format in which only one team is playing on the field. In between each point that is scored, you have 2 minutes to get off, get clean, get paint, get air, get your play, and get back out onto the field. It is a panic-inducing time if you are not organized in the pits, but I don't hear any yelling, therefore I don't hear any panicking. Teams seem to be well organized and well structured. We have no team on the box for the red side of the field with only 20 seconds left on the break timer. This is the situation in which you got to huff it and puff it out there. Otherwise, you are going to start no bodies, or you will have to call a timeout, which does happen. Timeout is called. Now, the tough thing about timeouts in situations like this is, I mean, one, it's X-Ball. Makes sense, right? You've played 5 points now in the hot, hot sun here in Paris, California. Depending on who called that timeout, now, if you're in Golden Vegas, or excuse me, Vegas Golden Misfits, I'm going to get that right at some point this weekend. If you're in Misfits situation and you're up 4-1 with the momentum in your favor, you definitely do not want to call a timeout if you can help it. You have the momentum in your favor. You don't want to ice your players by calling a timeout. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a Seattle Cartel timeout as a way to disrupt that tempo, get your players to breathe, put together the situation, and figure out what they need to do to crawl back from this deficit. 6 minutes and 42 seconds left on the clock. You have plenty of time to tie the series, and if not, win the series. So let's see what is going to happen. We have Seattle Cartel here on your screen. We will watch their breakout. Note how many guns up they have in this breakout. They need guns up. They need guns up. Can't really afford to risk going wide with guns down at this point because your opponent is going to overwhelm you. Misfits know they need to win with a good margin to make it to Sunday. Pro Wake says, Pro Wake 18 in the chat, in Twitch chat, thank you so much. Breakout now, 3 guns up, 2 bodies risked wide. Tough call here. Man, they've got that home shot dialed in as Cartel drops their home body out of that standing wedge as they walk off the field here. 2 players alive still in those Aztecs. A player alive in the juice box, and I see what looks to be, is that a player or a media guy walking off? That appears to be a player, so through 2 bodies dropping for Seattle Cartel in this series, that this is likely the nail in the coffin for Cartel. Very difficult to come back from such a wide point margin. They still have 1 point that they can play after this, as the mercy rule, I believe, is 6 for Premier. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Great development here as bodies drop for Vegas Misfits, getting up into that center X, looking to close the point out and squeezing out the back line. Let's take a look and see what he sees as he's just blasting the Snake Aztec bunker. There's no chance he's getting out of that spot. The only hope they have is to break out on the Dorito side, and as I say that, big run through coming here to shoot out the last player for Seattle Cartel. Now, if you're in Vegas Misfits situation, you definitely want to score this point, but you don't need to do it quickly. You can definitely burn the clock, but towel coming in for Seattle Cartel. Now, in Cartel situation, you need as much time as you possibly can, right? You need to get as much time as you can to score and pull this deficit back. But obviously, if you're in Vegas Misfits situation, you can burn that clock as long as you want. You still have the point spread very much so in your favor. So, great job here. I wish we could see... I wonder how far this camera turns. Man, look at that. Can't quite see into the pits. Maybe we'll get a pit camera here sometime in the future. future WCPPLs. Maybe we'll get an interview cam. We'll do what we can to make this stream awesome. If you guys are enjoying what you're watching right now, please let WCPPL know on their Facebook page. Say, hey, SVP Paintball, he did a pretty good job. He didn't smell too bad. His breath was okay. Can't see me right now, but I'm fully dressed. Let him know how the stream is going so far. I'll be here all weekend long as I'm not coaching. Desert Edge Division 5 and Division 4 tomorrow. Lots of games going on tomorrow. Mic'd up? Phew, man, I don't know. we might have to have a parental advisory warning for a mic'd up situation, but I agree. That would actually be really cool. 5 is the mercy rule in Premiere. Thank you, ProWake18 in the Twitch chat. Appreciate you. Show Collisions Breakout, Ashley Smith says. Absolutely, Ashley. I will definitely show Collisions Breakout when they're on the screen. But right now, we have Vegas Golden Misfits versus Seattle Cartel, 4-1, with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. We seem to have a technical timeout, or maybe the clock's not working. 0-0 on the break timer. Big thank you to our sponsors, Gunfighter, Matrix Gear USA, and Violence. Thank you guys so much for supporting the stream. Again, if there's others out there, I apologize. Thank you, Mike Hinman, for putting on a wonderful show. Everybody here on the broadcast team, the pro media, I'm calling them pro media, the media out here covering for teams, other layouts, other fields. Great job here. All right. Now we got on your screen the Golden Misfits as we have Marcelo Margot out here walking the field with them with now 2 minutes left on the clock. 2 minutes left on the break time clock, excuse me. Marcelo surely imparting wise words into Vegas Misfits. Likely talking about the dead zone move on the Doritos side as well as the moves up to the middle on the center X. So I'd be curious to see if we see a dead zone move on the Doritos side up to the center 50X in a very aggressive show of force. You know, at this point, if you're in Vegas Misfits situation, I'm not sure what their overall score is here at this tournament, but they're likely in a pretty safe situation to make it to Sunday. If in fact that is the case, you definitely want to try some things out here. See what works, see what doesn't. I mean, Seattle Cartel is a team that you can't balk at. Definitely have to respect them. Got a lot of veterans on that squad. So it's definitely a good opportunity to try and test, incubate different game plans and ideas, see how the layout plays here on the first day of play. Really one of 2 days of play, because as the finals for Premiere will be tomorrow, which unfortunately I don't know if I'll be there. So unfortunate, but I'll definitely be here for the divisional finals. Everything going on here on Field 1. Misfits has 1 win, 2 losses. Oof, this is a must-win situation. Fortunate for them, they've got the point margin to do